Hey Freedom Creators, do you wish you had more time for your passions, self-care, and spending time with the people that you love? Because in this video, I'm gonna share with you the book that showed me that the capitalistic grind is not always the answer, and the steps you can take to actually increase your financial freedom while working way less. All right, so I'm gonna reveal the book to you. Are you ready? Drum roll. The book is The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Now, if you've already heard of this book or read it, you might be like, oh, I'm just gonna click out of this video. But I'm gonna dive deep into 4 main points that apply right now this year that are really important for you to know or be reminded of for your business. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is getting more done in less time, because this is going to give you more financial freedom and more time freedom. So one of the things I learned from this book is that if you give yourself 8 hours to do something, or you give yourself 16 hours to do something, that's exactly how long it's gonna take you to get that thing done. Versus if you give yourself 2 hours or 3 hours, you'd be really surprised that you can get that same thing done in those amount of hours if you just set that time limit for yourself. Now, not only did this book teach that to me, but I've seen this firsthand. So for example, in my late 20s, a lot of my friends started having kids, and they were also business owners. And I kept thinking, man, how are they ever gonna run their businesses while having kids? Like, they're gonna have no time to do that. They're gonna have to get a full-time nanny. And to my surprise, they had 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 kids, and yet they still found the time to grow their businesses exponentially. And this is when I realized that you can get more done in less amount of time when you just set that time frame for yourself. Because now they only had a short little window of time to get the same things done that they were doing before when they had tons of time, and yet they were still getting it done. In fact, they were actually getting more done. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about that I learned from this book that is still very much applicable to this day is automation. Automation, which is actually bigger now than ever before because of AI and all the new stuff rolling out. But it's crazy to me how many business owners are not fully utilizing automation. So it's still great, of course, to have employees and people who specialize in things, but if you can automate something in your business, why wouldn't you do that? So maybe it's automating canned responses. Maybe it's automating sales through an automated sales funnel. Maybe it's using AI to do some of your copywriting versus hiring a copywriter. There are so many different things, and it really depends on your business, but just start to ask yourself, like, can this be automated? Because you wouldn't believe how much more you're gonna get done in your business if you can automate things. And a lot of times people are like, well, you know, I really like so-and-so who works for me, so I don't wanna automate things. Yeah, I'm not saying that you need to fire them. What I'm saying is, if there are things in their job that you can automate, now this person has more hours to be able to get even more things done for you, or test new things or try new things, because some of the things are automated. So just ask yourself, what can you automate in your business? It's only going to help you expand your business, expand your financial freedom, and of course, expand your time freedom as well. Oh, and one of the things that we use automation for in our business is automated sales funnels. We also do things like we give away great information in a free ebook in exchange for someone's name and email address to get on our email list. And I have a free funnel bundle for you in the description below. Now, this includes a Canva template for an ebook. This includes a full funnel. This includes a click-by-click tutorial on how to actually use the software so you can start automating more things in your business, like sales, building your email list, lead generation, and traffic. Okay, so the next thing that I learned from this book, which is huge in this book, he talks about it for, I wanna say, almost the majority of the book. He talks about hiring overseas virtual assistants for a very affordable rate. Now, I think this book was written back in like 2010, 2012. You guys can correct me in the comments. But he talks a lot about hiring like affordable overseas VAs in India. Now, for me personally, I want to share with you guys what website has helped for me the most to hire the best VAs that I've ever worked with. And that site is called PH Jobs, and it stands for Philippines. So this is actually where you would hire virtual assistants in the Philippines. And it's not just somebody who would do like random tasks for you. You can hire really any job. So I've hired a graphic designer, I've hired a copywriter, I've hired a video editor, and a virtual assistant, all from this website. And the cool thing is every single person that we've hired was the first hire that we made, and they still work for us today. So I really cannot recommend this job site highly enough. The price that we pay is usually somewhere between $8 and $10 an hour, which is still an insanely great price because of the exchange rate between the United States and the Philippines. I would highly recommend using that job site. And I do want to really, really fast take you through some of the steps I used to hire on that site, because I think it would be helpful. So the site is paid. You have to pay like a monthly fee. You can cancel at any time. But what I do is I come up with a job description, I post it to the site, and I do give one piece of homework. Now, this is highly debatable. A lot of people are like, I don't work for free, blah, blah, blah. but I have noticed that this is what finds us the best match people. And again, these are my first hires. They still work for me. They're very happy. I'm very happy. So this strategy does work very well. So what I do is, let's say I'm hiring for a video editor. I will just find like a 1 to 2 minute video and say, hey, if you want to apply for this job, edit this video and then submit it here. Those are just some quick steps and I hope you'll check it out. Okay, so the next thing I learned from this book is to focus. Now, I know that just seems really broad, but the thing is, like we talked about before, if you give yourself an 8-hour window or a 4-hour window, no matter what the window is, you're gonna get it done in that amount of time because that's the time that you have. Now, one of the things that I use for focus is this, a timer. So this is a timer cube. I just got this on Amazon and it has 60 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And basically what you do is you just set it on your desk. Let's say you want to write an Instagram caption and you think that'll maybe take you about 15 minutes. You just flip the timer to the 15 minutes is up and then it'll go off after 15 minutes. And I find that this not only helps my focus, but it actually kind of makes it like a competitive thing for me to actually get it done in that amount of time, which is super cool as well. Another thing that really helps me with focus is using a task management software. Now, we use Asana at my business, and what's so cool is when you come to work, you already know what tasks you should be working on for that day. You're not just showing up to work being like, what should I work on today? Because if you don't know what you're gonna work on before you show up to work, you're most likely not going to be focused and as productive as you could be versus coming in and knowing, okay, I need to get this done, this done, this done, this done. This is gonna take 60 minutes, this is gonna take 15 minutes, and you're really making it sort of like a fun competition to get things done. Another thing I do for focus is I will reward myself. If there's like a task that I really don't wanna do or I'm dreading, not looking forward to, I'll say, well, if I can get that done in 60 minutes, then I can watch this show. Or if I get this done in 60 minutes, then I get to go have a coffee at the coffee shop or whatever the thing is that I wanna do. Or maybe it's, if I get this done in 1 hour versus 6 hours, then I get to leave work early and go on a hike for the day. And that really helps my focus as well. Okay, so the last main point that I learned from this book is vacations and sabbaticals. Now he talks about these and how making yourself available 24/7 to your employees actually just makes them like reach out to you more and take up more of your time. Now, if they know that you're gonna be gone on vacation, they will like consolidate all their questions or things that they need before you go on vacation. And what do you know, the whole time they're done, they're not gonna need you. And so maybe they didn't even need you the whole time. So that's just something to consider. Another thing that we do with our employees is we say, hey, before you go on vacation, make sure that all of the projects and tasks and things that you work on are SOP'd. That way, if somebody needs to jump in and do something, they're not gonna have to bother you on vacation. They're just gonna be able to go into the SOP, which stands for Standard Operating Procedure, or the checklist, and they're gonna be able to do that task for you. And they're not gonna have to bother you on vacation. And now this incentivizes the employee because they're like, I don't wanna be, bothered on vacation. And it helps your business to make sure that every process is documented. And you want every process in your business documented because maybe you need to bring on a new employee, or maybe you need to promote someone and they need to now learn these tasks. There's just so many different reasons why you would need things documented in your business. The other thing with a vacation and a sabbatical is when you actually take dedicated time off to relax, vacation, sabbatical, when you come back, you're gonna be so much more focused, so much more refreshed. It's crazy, like when you take the actual time off, how much more you get done when you do come back because you are refreshed, you have gotten caught up on your sleep, you've had fun, and if you're anything like me, you've probably missed work and you're excited to get back to it. All right, so just to summarize, we talked about getting more done in less time, we talked about automation, we talked about virtual assistants, focus, and vacation and sabbaticals. So I hope you'll consider adding these into your strategy for your business this year. Now, overall in this book, what I've learned is it is very important to always be questioning what's happening in the mainstream and asking, is this working for me? Is this working for my business? How could I do things better for me? How could I do things better for my particular business? We really need to be just trusting our gut and really thinking outside the box on how to make things work for us. Now that you know how to have more financial and time freedom, you might be wondering, how can I sell something more automated and more passive? Well, it all starts with watching this video here, because when you pair what you just learned with this video right here, it's gonna be 10 times more powerful. See you in the next video.